Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello everyone, wild day today in the cryptocurrency space. We had the fork being canceled and tons of volatility everywhere in response to that. We're going to cover the big three here. We're going to look at OMG, EOS, and XMR as well. Altcoins definitely seeing some life. So the initial reaction was Bitcoin ran to all-time highs. It then dumped a bit, down 10% from that all-time high. And we saw money flow into ETH, LTC, and the altcoins. So a crazy space and a good way to lose money if you do not have a game plan. The only trade that I personally made was a Bitcoin. I had already set a stop buy order, so as soon as the new all-time high was hit, I was bought, and I was actually away from my computer when the news hit. So I came back and saw that I was in a position at all-time highs. I exited that position on a break that I'll point out here in just a bit, and then went over to ETH. So I'll go through all the rundown, and then I'll explain my trading, and then we'll cover the altcoins. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, we have a big upper wick of profit taking, and we're going to see a bit of a volume climax kind of day. So clearly that's a ton of profit taking, and our key support right now is 6,900. If that level breaks, we lose the daily high or low, as that is where we had just established support before this breakout did occur. So a lot of people are saying, okay, now everybody's going to sell Bitcoin because they were holding for free coins, and that's not going to happen anymore. So far, I'm not seeing an all-out dump. If we were going to see an all-out dump, in my opinion, we would have broken 6,900 by now. So Bitcoin's holding up really well. That doesn't mean we can't see further downside. It just means that, again, we're not seeing a race to the exit. This is not a huge fundamental hit to Bitcoin. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned on the weekly time frame, let's look longer term. This is a bearish reversal spinning top candlestick. We still have a few days to go, so this shape can change. But on this weekly time frame, we have not consolidated and found a base of support since 29.75. We could pull back to 4,000 and still be in an uptrend on this weekly time frame. We need to consider that and keep that in mind and keep perspective. We need to consolidate on this weekly time frame. We could enter a portion of time where we have multiple weeks of downside pullback, maybe even multiple months. I'm not saying that's happening yet. Again, we have not seen enough weakness to say that. At a bare minimum, we have to break 6,900 for the bears to start to see follow through on consolidation. If 6,900 holds, the bulls are still in absolute full control on this daily time frame. If 6,900 breaks, I'm looking down at 61.89 previous resistance now support as the next clear level. So it'll be just psychological. 69, 68, 67, so on and so forth. But the bulls are holding on just fine is the bottom line for now. The 4-hour time frame, tons of volume, tons of indecision. There's our support at 6,900. The hourly time frame trying to bounce. So let's look shorter term. The 15-minute chart. We have our all-time where we have our high of the bull break, our all-out dump. Our high of the bounce is 7,400. Our higher low is 71.48. And now we're in a tightening range. So the range to be watching right now, shorter term, is 71.48 and 74.02 resistance. That's the range. Whichever direction we break, just like I said in yesterday's video, where if we break on Bitcoin, the level was 72.33 to break. Let's go back to that. And I said, I don't care anything that Bitcoin is doing until we see a break of this range. And we ended up getting a bull break of that range. And here that was. We had our low and the high of the bounce. We were right in here when I did the video. We got a bull break. That was the trade signal. That's what I'm looking at right now on the 15-minute time frame. A break of 74.02 is bullish, and a break of 71.48 is bearish. That is where we stand. So again, this is not an all-out dump. We are not racing to the exit, and the sky is not falling. So I don't think that we're going to see, an all-out dump from here down to 6,000 or whatever it is. It might happen, slow and steady with a few percent pullback and then a short-term bounce, so on and so forth. But again, the news has settled in at this point. The world is aware of the news that there is no fork. Just an example of some of the alert systems that we had going off. Obviously, the cryptocurrency alert system that we have was firing off crazy alerts on everything just because of all the price action. But here was one where we were looking at the price shear indicator, and this is one that we have developed our own as a proprietary indicator that I really love for short-term signals, long-term signals. But here is the 15-minute and the 30-minute signals that were sent off. So we got a bullish price shear signal right here on Bitcoin before the breakout, before we hit the all-time high. The 30-minute price shear signal followed through for confirmation. We made our move all the way up to 7,900. And then look at the bear signals. They started giving the heads up that the bears were starting to knock the price back down. And that occurred at 76.40 before we dropped all the way down to 7,060 essentially. So essentially a $600 save if acting on the price shear for the bear signal on Bitcoin. And I have other charts here for Ethereum and Litecoin for the bullish signals on those entries. Let's now look at the longer term time frame for Ethereum. So Ethereum on the weekly chart is still in an equilibrium pattern. We have our high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. The range on the weekly is 275 to 350, and we're right in the middle of that range, slightly favoring the bulls, but actually we're pretty much dead center in the middle of that range. So I'm watching for a clear break on one or two of those levels, and that's going to be very significant and give us direction for the next couple of months. As far as the daily chart goes, we made a bull break. We saw the bull break on Litecoin, breaking the daily lower high pattern yesterday, and we broke out. And today we saw it for Ethereum. So Ethereum with a big volume spike. We have our higher low, lower high pattern, tighter, 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 clear bull break, clearing all kinds of resistances. If you've been watching these videos, you've been hearing me say, I am not trusting the Ethereum bulls until we break 310. We have now broken 310 and we ran to 320. There's a lack of resistance in these ranges. 320, 330, and then 334.66 stands out. So there's a lack of resistance, and we are looking up at a major level. That 350 there, it stands out as the highest peak that we've seen in months, and that's why that weekly chart level is so key. So from here on the daily time frame, we're going to look for higher lows and higher highs. This is a trend change. We had been in consolidation mode ever since now. Now the bulls have affirmed that they are back in control of the daily chart. The 4-hour time frame, there's the breakout, bearish reversal candlestick forming, although it's only 36 minutes old. We will look to consolidate and form a healthy higher low. The hourly time frame, there's the reaction. Obviously a big time breakout where we ran $19 in reaction, but we are in consolidation mode and we have to form a higher low on the hourly. The hourly RSI got up to 83, certainly overdone, and now we look to form that higher low. The 15-minute time frame, there's a 5-minute time frame. There's a little lower high, lower low, so clearly we are in consolidation mode. Support is 310, 307.10, and then down to 301.11. Checking in on the price shear alerts here for ETH, we had multiple go signals. 15-minute price shear was in the 303s. It ran all the way up to 315. We consolidated. A lot of volatility. We got another bull signal at 311. It ran all the way up to 319. So these 15-minute price shears are clearly day trading signals to be acting on, but they let us know that there's action going on. So even if we're not acting on these trades, it's a signal to say, hey, a lot of volatility just came out of nowhere. And that is the instance that we saw today, although there was still plenty of day trading opportunity to act on these signals, and certainly a lot of messages blowing up, all of the alerts being fired off. Checking in on Litecoin. Litecoin daily chart already got the bull break. Weekly chart has yet to get this clear bull break. I've got the high, low, lower high, higher low. Anything under 69.59 is just a lower high in a tightening higher low, lower high pattern. So both ETH and LTC have gotten bull breaks on the daily. They have not made a bull break on the weekly yet. That's worth noting if you are in a long-term position. The daily time frame, clear breakout yesterday, follow through today. Look at that volume. That is significant bull volume 2 days in a row. We haven't seen bull volume 2 days in a row like that since back here when we made our run up to $70. So bulls seeing follow through, but we need to consolidate here as well. 4-hour RSI broke above 80. All this volatility with the wild ranges. We got the hourly time frame. RSI just fine on the hourly, but again, after all this volatility, what you see with Litecoin is a lot of fake outs, and stop losses with Litecoin can be a bit dangerous because you see a move like this where we have clear support of 60.25, we drop down and break $60 and then rocket up to 64.30. So that would have stopped you out if you had an appropriate stop loss. That would have stopped you out from a $4 move. And the reason for that is the lack of bid and ask support in terms of coins, and how a little bit of dollar volume goes a lot further in moving the price. It's thinly traded is what that means. So when a lot of volume spikes we see a big break in the ranges, and obviously that's on example here on display with the highs and the lows and the big wicks. So right now on the hourly time frame, we have inside bars, and we'll get a trade signal from the alert system once these inside bars break. We are on our third hourly inside bar. 62.30 break is bearish, 63.34 break is bullish. That's where we currently stand as we settle in from all of this volatility. You can see the 5-minute chart trading fairly sideways at this point. Hourly inside bars is what to be watching for Litecoin. Checking in on the Litecoin alerts that were sent off, we had the 15-minute bearish shear alert, and this was actually an example of a heads up to look for an oversold bounce. When we got these signals, we're getting bull signals from everything else. We're getting bull signals from Bitcoin and from Ethereum, and then we get these bear signals from LTC. And ChartGuys Jason used those as an opportunity to enter the oversold bounce, which obviously played out really well. But that let us know that there was, opposite inverse correlation going on. We reached oversold levels very quickly, and the bounce was extremely magnified. The bull signals went off at the 61.50 range, and then we ran up to the low $64 range. So the bottom line is these alert shears, these price shears alerts are coming out and giving us really good opportunity for day trade flips. And again, these are short-term signals where in 20 minutes, we saw a run-up of over $2.50 on Litecoin from when that signal was given. So that's where we stand on the big three. Personally, my trading, again, like I said, I entered the bull break on the all-time high for Bitcoin. I came and sat down at my computer and saw that we were already in consolidation mode. High, low, lower high, higher low, equilibrium pattern, clear bear break. As soon as this low of 76.71 broke, I exited for small profit, and I went right over to Ethereum. Why did I choose Ethereum over Litecoin? Because, as I've been saying, if Ethereum breaks 310, I'm interested. Now I'm interested as a bull. And that happened. Another factor was, again, the fact that Litecoin already broke out yesterday, already saw a lot of bull volume come in. Ethereum didn't have that reaction. So I saw a lot of money coming into Ethereum. I entered on this consolidation. We broke 310, we got up to 314.85, and then we dumped. I was staggering my orders here, 305, 304, 303, and entering and filled up, and then the bounce took place. I loved this sideways consolidation. It was very healthy to me. Litecoin was still bouncing all over the place, trying to tighten the range up, and Ethereum tightened it up really quickly. And look at the bull volume come in here with a clear bull break. As soon as we got over 309.50, that's your bull signal, and I actually scaled out half of my position. I entered in the low 300s. I scaled out half of my position right here to protect profit in consolidation, and I re-entered it when we broke 309.50, and I then scaled out in the 316s to 318s to lock in that profit. We now have lower highs and lower lows, and we're pulling back. I'm all cash and not doing a thing, being very patient, and I'm looking for conditions that I want to see, which are hourly higher lows established. I want to see ETH consolidate, form a clear bullish reversal candlestick on the hourly, and I want to see the 15-minute time frame go from lower highs and lower lows to a higher low and a higher high to show me that momentum is shifting back in their favor. As far as Litecoin, same thing. Hourly time frame, watching for the inside bar breaks, more likely to see a bear break than a bull break because we need to consolidate overall. Always watching the correlation to Bitcoin, which is constantly changing between these names, but the bulls are in favor, ETH and LTC, comparative to BTC. Altcoins, OMG USD. Clear bull break on the daily time frame. We had our low, high of the bounce. When this bounce was going on, I made a video and I said, this isn't changing the trend at all. We're just coming off of the low. It's an oversold bounce. We have to see a higher low and a higher high. So here's our higher low, and that was found at 611 and 604. So higher low set, and then there's our higher high on bull volume. Resistance is 820 and 871. Still a lot of resistance here. Look at this downtrend resistance line that I had drawn long ago. That is still in play and still rejecting the price. Bulls are not out of the woods yet. Look at the weekly time frame. This is just the start of a bounce coming right off of the low. The weekly time frame needs to now do what the daily did. We need a higher low and a higher high to reverse this trend back in favor of the bulls. It's a great start, but there's still a lot of work to do, and we're now consolidating after getting overbought and seeing the same kind of consolidation that ETH and LTC are seeing. So the question is going to be, can the bulls on the longer term time frames, perhaps the 4-hour chart, the daily chart, can they keep up higher lows and higher highs? Again, this is a very hype driven move. So if we can consolidate, form a higher low, and then see continuation and break the high of these hype moves, that's very significant, and that will stand out. And that goes for any of these names, ETH or any altcoins If we can consolidate and then form a higher high, that tells us the trend and the momentum is shifting to favor the bulls. And I'm referring to the daily time frame ideally. EOS USD daily time frame broke out long ago. We had healthy consolidation, inside bar on the daily time frame. Bull break occurred at 996. And then on the bull break, we saw a significant follow through, almost a 25% move. And we're looking for an equilibrium pattern on the daily here. High, low, looking for a lower high, perhaps that's at 119 where we just topped out, and then looking for the pattern to tighten up, and we'll look for a higher low compared to 90 cents. And then we'll look for a break of this equilibrium pattern. Again, equilibrium patterns happen after extreme volatility, whether it's bullish or bearish, and we enter new price ranges, then we find our equilibrium and look for that break. So bulls in control of the short term, hourly time frame key support is 103. If that level breaks, I'm very confident that our lower high is now 119. XMR on the daily time frame. Bull break occurred 2 days ago. Ton of volume. It was the highest daily volume that we had seen in weeks. We had consolidation. Let's look what the 4-hour time frame looked like. Healthy consolidation. Look at this equilibrium. High, low, lower high, higher low, sideways, bull break on big bull volume for continuation. Daily time frame certainly favoring the bulls. This is the highest price that we have seen in over a month. The next resistance from here is 119.90. The high of this move is 111.90. So the weekly time frame shifting momentum in a big way and trying to regain the trend in favor of the bulls. So the altcoins are coming to life. Hourly time frame consolidating a bit, not even too overbought here on the hourly and the 4-hour. As long as the 4-hour time frame keeps the higher lows, the bulls remain in control. And again, higher lows and higher highs is the name of the game now. It's been lower highs and lower lows for these altcoins for such a significant amount of time that we have to see higher lows and higher highs. The bull breakout on this hype is not enough alone. We have to see consolidation and continuation, because if we get the continuation after the hype is worn off, that tells us that it's a significant turnaround and there's some meaning behind this bull move. So I appreciate everybody watching. We're going to continue pumping it out. Tons of questions, tons of uncertainty. If you found yourself, losing money today, that's a signal to, number one, continue studying, continue getting prepared. But obviously, this is very unusual conditions. This is hype-driven news, tons of volatility. There's nothing wrong with sitting on the sideline when this is happening and making note and getting used to it. And I personally would always rather enter on consolidation like I did here on ETH on that pullback. Much rather enter on consolidation than a breakout when the RSI levels are high. I don't want to be buying, at the ask and buying at the top. I want to make sure we are consolidating. So at the very least, I have levels to be going off of in terms of an exit. So here, as I was scaling in, it's an all-out dump. It looks like the world's falling, collapsing, and I would have exited if we broke this low of 297.52, and in the end, it would have been about a $5 loss from my position, which is certainly manageable, and I can get over that. So establishing a game plan on the fly is really confusing to a lot of people, especially if newer. And again, if you are newer and trying to trade in this environment, it's going to be tricky and you might end up with losses. It's not a reason to get discouraged. These events don't happen often. It's much easier when we have a game plan set and we have clear levels to be going off of, and we don't have, huge 5% swings in both directions in a matter of a half an hour. So again, appreciate you watching. Check out the alert system. We'll see you soon.